So today we're going to show you how to build this funky little hideaway bar. Jim, care to do the honors?
Absolutely. So here we have the flop down bar. Here it comes, its leg. Comes down really easy. And now you have a nice sturdy work area.
I love it. You can use it as a breakfast nook, a bar, or a potting bench. Take us through the features.
Well, the features are it screws to the wall. It's got shelving in here for various accoutrements. It comes down really easy. It's got this really sturdy leg. So it can take anything you throw at it.
And then you can fold it right up, and it's a huge space saver.
Absolutely.
Really good for smaller size decks. And because we're using Western Red Cedar, it's going to be a fun little build, right?
Yeah, we love Western Red Cedar. It's lightweight, easy to work with, it stays very true, tools love it, and it makes us look good.
So what's the first step?
First step is to laminate together the tabletop, then we'll sit it aside, it'll dry while we construct the rest of it.
Sounds good. Let's get started. We're going to use a beautiful naughty grade of Western Red Cedar, which is really going to add a lot of warmth and texture to the project.
It sure is.
So we've got the 4 boards that are going to be the tabletop all lined up here, and we're using 2x6 cedar, which is actually used quite a bit for decking, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's used for a multitude of outdoor projects, but decking especially, we use miles. But
yeah, your clients request it quite a bit because Western Red Cedar is naturally resistant to rot, decay, and insects, which makes it ideal for decking and, as you said, all outdoor projects.
Absolutely.
So how are we attaching these 4 boards?
So we're going to glue and clamp these or laminate them. We're also going to use a biscuit joiner just to make the lamination process easier. This is also wider and longer than it's going to be in the end. We're going to trim it true once it's dried up. That's another trick to lamination.
So the tabletop is set aside and it's drying, and right now we're going to build the internal frame, that's right?
Yes, internal frame and shelves. So it's very straightforward. The shelves, the only thing I did here was marked where the internal shelves go. That'll make it easier to put together, and otherwise we just put it together with 3-inch screws.
Okay. It's a good time to note that Western Red Cedar is not just a beautiful building material, but it's a sustainable building material. In fact, wood such as Western Red Cedar actually sequester carbon from the environment. So it's a green choice you can feel good about. Okay, so I've got some T&G here.
Perfect.
We just finished the internal frame. We squared it off by measuring the diagonals,
Yes.
which is really important at this point because we're going to build around it, so this has to be true.
Yes, absolutely.
And the next step is to install the backcladding, right?
Yes, and what we're using for that is we're using a 1x6 T&G, and we do that because the whole back will be clad. It'll look really good. It'll be very strong, and it'll allow us to fasten it to the wall in multiple locations.
Okay, good to know. And for more detailed instructions, you can go to realcedar.com for free downloadable building plans. Okay, so we just lined up the outer frame.
Yeah, so basically the outer frame lines up on the inner frame, and it's simple as pie.
So the box is all built, and now we're going to build a leg with 2x3s, and you've set it up for a biscuit joint, right?
Yes, I have. You don't have to do that, but when it's a picture frame like this, it kind of helps put it together, just makes it easy, and we had the biscuit joiner out. You could just as easily do it with 3-inch screws and glue too.
So we're just going to cut this down to size now, and how are we going to do that, Jim?
Well, a couple ways you could do it. One, you could just use a skill saw and or a circular saw and freehand it. Two, you could use a circular saw, but you could clamp a guide down to the piece of work. or 3. You could use a table saw, and since we have one sitting right there, we're going to use a table saw.
Okay, so now we just have to assemble it.
Yes, so now we want to put the leg on the tabletop. We picked this as the best face for the tabletop. This will be what's up. So we put it down like this. Then we pull the leg. We faced, the best face of the leg is like there. So we put it up. Then we found that the easiest way to do this is to use a clamp.
Just gently clamp it,
steady,
right?
Gently, very gently. And this keeps it from kind of running when we put on the piano hinge. Piece of piano hinge available in any hardware store. We've cut it to length. They tend to come in standard lengths, but we needed this. We're ready to install it. Take it in like this, and we just start screwing it on.
So the next step is to attach the table to the frame, and this is actually the trickiest step in the whole build, isn't it? Okay, so Jim, take it away.
Okay, so again, we have our cut piano hinge. Now I'm gonna flip the table.
Right.
This is just a way we kind of worked out that was probably the easiest way to do it. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go like that. Like that. We wanna kind of bring it up like that. Okay, that's pretty good. You're gonna hold it.
Okay.
Hold the top down.
Okay.
We're gonna put the, this particular hinge is gonna go like this. Okay, so we've just attached this piano hinge to the actual bar top. So we're good there. Now we've got to attach the piano hinge to the body of the shelf. Now, what we want to do, it's got to be out a fair distance so that this doesn't bind when it closes. So we've worked that out. It's about 3/4 of an inch. These are shims. So what we're going to do is place this in there, put the shims in there, and then screw it in.
Okay.
It should work out quite well.
Now, before we attach the latches, Jim has an optional step. Tell us about that.
Yeah, if you live in a climate that's maybe high humidity or maybe dry, don't have a lot of experience there, but you never know. The top, which is assembled of 4 pieces and glued, may cop or warp. If you're worried about that, just add some cleats to the face, like this.
This is the underside of the table.
Yeah, underside, and you'd keep it down about a half from there,
Yep.
and a half from the bottom, about center. Face screw them, and that adds a lot of strength to your tabletop. Okay. We're not going to do it because we like the clean look, but those are your options.
So Jim, tell us about the latches.
These are just barrel bolts. These are really good quality marine ones, so they're stainless steel.
Nice.
But anything will do, whatever you like. They've got a little hole in them too, so you could put tiny padlock on it if you wanted to keep something secure. And they open really easily.
Take it for a test drive?
Let's do it.
There we go.
Down she comes.
Nice.
Again, yeah.
Another great job, Jim.
It's beautiful.
Now we're just going to let this weather naturally, but it's good to know that Western Red Cedar is pitch and resin free, which means it accepts and holds a wide range of finishes beautifully. Now if you like this video or you want more DIY inspiration, click and subscribe or visit realcedar.com for free plans.